You're not gonna believe this. Well, actually, with my luck, you probably are gonna believe this, but this is fucking ridiculous. So, if you guys remember, which most of you didn't even see the video, I'm not sure if you guys just don't like my videos or if YouTube's mess with me or what, but only like 5% of you guys are watching my videos. So, for the very select few of you that saw the video of me putting this whole set turbo on the Supra, if you haven't seen it, please go check out that video. But for like the 9 people that did watch this video, there it is. And you may have seen the video of me two-stepping it. It was working great. Well, it's been about 90 miles since I put the turbo on, and it no longer works. I've talked to a couple people and got some theories as to what may have happened, but the turbo is seized as fuck. So, give you a little bit of background. When I first got the turbo on, I was driving it. You know, it ran really good. When I turned the car off, the turbo would spin for seriously like another minute. Like, it seemed to be a really good turbo. But I started to notice some oil coming out of the compressor housing, which people told me to look at my drain hose, which I did. And I think that may have been a problem. Instead of going, you know, straight to the drain on the oil pan or straight to the oil pan, instead of it kind of being a straight shot, it was more of an L shape. So I'm thinking that oil backed up in the drain hose and was coming out of the compressor housing. So what I did, I shortened it. I took about 2 inches out of that drain hose and shortened it and made it basically a direct shot, and I took it out for another drive and I noticed no more oil coming out of the compressor housing. I cleaned the oil off and drove for probably another 20-30 miles, and it seemed to be working fine. So that must have been the problem, right? I don't know. Also, for the very few people that saw the video, you'll notice I didn't run a oil restrictor on the turbo feed. On a lot of Dodge and Cummins forums and whole set forums, or you know, whatever, a bunch of people experienced with whole sets, everyone told me not to run a restrictor. But someone who I trust very much, Donald Jackson, he's in the Auto Alliance, if you get to the end of the video, he uses whole sets in his 1Js and RBs or whatever, and he told me that I need to run a restrictor. And so I don't know what to believe. I've been told to run a restrictor, I've been told not to run a restrictor. I'm running a -3 AN line right now, and the 1J only makes like peak like 80 psi of oil pressure, but normally it's only like 40 psi, so it's really not that much oil. But so Donald Jackson thinks that I may have overpressurized the center housing and I guess blew a seal and seized the bearing or whatever. You know, that seems possible, but like I said, after I fixed that hose, no more oil was coming out of the compressor housing, and the turbo was running just fine, and then all of a sudden it just seized. But another friend of mine told me something that seems like it also very well could have been the issue. This turbo was flowing a lot more air, and there were some times where I would go lean. It would be for a very short amount of time, but I would notice, you know, the AFR would get up to 15, 16, 17 AFR, which is very lean, because this thing is just pushing so much more air. And a friend of mine, who I also trust, said that these H1Cs, with high EGTs, the bearings can melt and weld themselves to the center housing. Which, that sounds possible, but a thing I have to question about that is I am running meth, and meth significantly reduces exhaust gas temperatures, and you know, when I'm over 6 pounds of boost, it's spraying meth. So I did run lean without a doubt, and I know when you run lean, EGTs are high, but I was running meth. But then my other friend, the high guy, if you OG Poor Man Mod watchers remember the high guy, he pointed out that I am running a turbo blanket on the turbo, which a mixture of the high EGTs, even though I'm running meth, but the high EGTs and maybe the turbo blanket and the downpipe wrap maybe that caused it to seize. I'm not too sure, but we're gonna have to tear apart this turbo. I want to tear apart the turbonetics first and see what all happened to that, but we will have to tear this apart and see what exactly happened. I do plan on replacing the center section. I don't want to rebuild it. I'm just gonna get a whole new everything because I'm fucking done dealing with this car not driving. I think I can get a completely brand new balanced center section for like 450 bucks, which is more than what I paid for that, but I think that's what I'm gonna do. I don't want to switch turbos. You know, I already modified the downpipe and everything to fit this H1C, so if I can keep that and just get new guts, that's what I'm gonna do. But now, I'm gonna show you how seized this turbo is. You're not gonna believe this. So the blades aren't even chewed up like the turbo was on my turbonetics, but let's see how seized this thing is. Look at that. Oh. Nothing. Now the socket's stuck. I can't even turn it with a socket. Ridiculous, right? I'm shaking the whole car. Ridiculous. So, it looks like this car is broken. Well, it actually can drive. I did drive this about another 10 miles with the turbo completely seized, but now, after running for a good 90 miles and pulling real hard and making 25 pounds of boost, this car is gonna be sitting for another probably a couple weeks or months. 450 bucks to replace that, and I am pretty damn broke because I still have that legacy, because I still have the IS300, and I gotta save up some money to make some repairs to sell one of them, which is still a secret. So hopefully sometime in the near future I'll fix this, but until then I'm fucking pissed.